Welcome to another game dev vlog. For this video, I'll be talking about our 2019 Global Game Jam project called I Wanna Go Home. In this game, Spicco and his friends are running away from Pidge Beetle, a bird who's taking care of them. They're trying to find a way back home. On the way, they get lost in the link between worlds, and Spicco has to search for his lost friends. So let's get into the process. The theme for this year was what home means to you. We were really excited about this one because home is one of the central themes of The Nays, our bigger story. So it tied into our overall story perfectly. When brainstorming, we came up with a bunch of ideas relating to different worlds and moments from the story. We decided to make the setting be Tag World, which is a world run by birds that the Nays end up in frequently. We figured out the characters we wanted the game to be about. Then, we decided they would get split up during their escape from this world, because they don't consider it their home. Each time you find one of the characters, they're convinced that this location is their new home. You have to play a mini-game to break them free from the mind-controlling trance that they're in. You'll need specific abilities for freeing other characters, so the order that you do them in matters. So to start the night, I worked on the character sprites while my brother set up the project. I started with our protagonist, Spicco, and drew a walk cycle for him in all 4 directions. I tried to go with a more simplistic style so that I could make sprites more quickly. By the end of the night, I had sprites for almost all of the characters we needed. I just drew quick idle animations for all the characters other than Spicco, so that they would be easier to make. Then I started on the title screen. Because VHS tapes were a big part of our childhood, we decided that would go into the home theme. I tried to make the title screen resemble an old anime VHS tape, with how the characters were all posed. I even made a fake back of the VHS tape that we added to the project folder. We also made a fun secret room that you can only reach if you enter the correct code. To find this code, the player must either go into the game's project folder to find the back of the VHS tape image, or check the itch.io screenshots to find the screenshot with the password in it. We wanted to feel like this was a fun, hidden part of the game. The next day, we got a late start, but not as late as we had in the earlier years. My brother had been working on the background maps, so he finished up the hub world that connects all of them, called the Link Between Worlds. Next, we decided to work on the dialogue boxes. Most of our games previously featured character portraits that are shown when they're talking. We decided to break away from the norm for this one, and create an interface where text boxes pop up above their heads and are color coordinated with the characters. Using a plugin, we got the text boxes to appear above the character's location on the map. I made some of the base sketch layouts for the backgrounds. Then my brother spent a lot more time drawing the final versions of those backgrounds. During that time, I worked a lot on the functionality of the minigames. I started with Scott's minigame. In this game, there are hockey pucks shot at you, and you have to act as a goalie to block those before they reach the net. They progressively get faster the further you get in the game. The next minigame that I worked on was Chozu's. In this minigame, some angry drunk people in a bar are attacking Chozu and you have to rescue him. This was actually based on a game that I made back in VX Ace, where I was creating an action-based battle system. I had to entirely recode it since there were updates and I wasn't entirely sure how I did it at first. But basically, the enemy will appear in one of 4 locations, and a bottle will slowly fly towards Chozu in the center. You have to tag the enemy before the bottle reaches Chozu to damage him and deflect the hit. Some bottles are faster than others. Both Chozu and the enemy have health bars that are affected by those. So this was probably the most involved of the minigames I made. Then my brother worked on Kicky's game. This is a matching game where there are 9 trash cans with different blue creatures. Your goal is to find the one with Kicky in it, based on seeing him for a few seconds outside of the can. There's a photo of him hanging on the wall to help the player determine which one they should be looking for. This minigame uses a series of switches and event pages to determine the order that the blues pop out of the cans in. So once that minigame was done, the last one was Coyote's game, on the rooftop garden. This one makes use of timers, so the longer it's been since you watered a plant, the quicker it'll be until it wilts. There are a few different stages of the plants, so you can visually see which ones are closest to dying. In this game, you need to run around and water the plants, so that none of the plants die in the time limit. With the core mechanics and minigames completed, I started to add to the story of the game to connect all the parts we had together. Then I added UI to show the team members and who you unlocked so far. I arranged them in order of how you need to complete their games to give the player a hint of the progression. The UI starts with all of them darkened with question marks. As you find them, it turns on a switch that shows their faces to present the progression. So with that, everything was pretty much done. I just found some music and added the credits, then we uploaded our game. This project was by far our favorite game jam project we had worked on at the time. We were really proud of how it came out, and we were super passionate and excited while working on it. This one had a really clear story progression. It felt like a full game from beginning to end. So this game is still one that I look back on and really enjoy. Thanks for watching this video. Check out the links to my other game dev vlogs in the description below. See you in the next video.